This is Fitness Blender's glute, inner thigh, and outer thigh workout. For this routine, we're going to be going through 3 rounds of 8 different exercises. It's going to take us about 38 minutes total. Let's go ahead and get started with round number 1. Our first exercise is the frog leg lifts. You're going to be laying face down for this one with those feet drawn in. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Laying face down, kick those knees out to the side, drawing those feet in up towards your butt, pressing the bottom of those feet together as close as you can. And then nice and slow, lift those thighs off the ground, keeping those knees nice and wide. The wider those knees are, the harder it's going to be for those glutes to lift those thighs up off the ground. Just keep the motion nice and slow, getting a tight squeeze at the top every single time. Let those legs back down, but don't let them completely relax. You don't want to let all that weight from that leg go back onto the ground. You want to keep them hovering just a little bit, squeezing those legs right back up. Nice tight squeeze at the top, and then slowly back down. We're almost done. Just a couple more repetitions. Here's your last one. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one. This is the squat with side leg raise. Go ahead and stand up. Get ready. And begin. A nice deep squat in the middle. Then slowly lifting one leg up off to the side as high as you can, as high as is comfortable. Back down into a squat. Then coming back up, lifting the opposite leg. Just alternate back and forth, getting as deep of a squat as you can each time, and lifting that leg up and out to the side as high as you can each time without tipping your torso over to the side. You want to try to keep your upper body as straight up and down as you can. Now, as you go through this exercise, focusing on that form, you also want to focus on your speed. The slower you go, the more you're going to get out of this exercise. So make sure you drop down into that squat and come back up nice and slow. You don't want it to be a bouncing motion. It's a nice controlled descent and ascent. Then slowly lift that leg up out to the side. Don't kick it. Just want a nice tight squeeze at the top. Slowly bringing that leg back down. Don't let it just fall. Then moving right back into that squat again. You want to be under control in every single part of this motion. Never feel like you're swinging or kicking or bouncing. Almost done. Just one more on each side. And last one with that left leg. And let it relax. All right, go ahead and lay back down for this next one, the butterfly bridge. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Laying flat on your back. Let those knees drop off to the side. Put the sole of those feet together. Then nice and slow, pressing into the side of that foot. Lift those hips up as high as you possibly can. Getting a nice tight squeeze on those glutes. Now, not only does this exercise work those butt muscles really well, but by kicking those knees out to the side, you're also going to be using those outside thighs to press yourself up, as well as those inside thighs to keep yourself under control, to keep those knees from kicking out even further. So that entire thigh has to work for this exercise. Now, as you get comfortable with this motion, you can make it more difficult by bringing those hands up off the mat, just extending them straight over top of that shoulder, or placing a medicine ball or dumbbell holding on top of your hips or stomach, just making it that much more difficult. Just one more repetition, nice tight squeeze at the top, and let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one. This is the U leg lifts. We're on your side for this one. We're going to start on your right side. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Now laying out on that right side, you're going to prop yourself up with that right elbow, nice and slow. Extend that left leg out completely straight. That right knee's going to be bent. That left leg's going to come straight up out to the side. Then draw it forward, coming 90 degrees off that hip. Then squeeze it up as high as you can. Then slowly back down. Then draw it back straight in line with your body. Raise it up again. Then slowly back in front. So you're making a really boxy U shape with that leg every single time you're doing one of these motions. And every single U motion is going to be one repetition. Now, just like every other exercise in this routine, you want the motion slow and under control. Never feel like you're kicking that leg at all. It should be a nice slow raise, squeezing at the top, slowly let it fall, keep it hovering, draw that leg in front, slowly squeeze it up in front, then slowly let it fall. Never let gravity just drop it down, and never kick your leg up. We're almost done, just a few more repetitions. Bring that leg in front as your last raise. Then slowly bring that leg back and let it relax. All right, we're going to switch sides. So you're going to be on your left side this next time, propping up with that left elbow. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. On that left side, slowly bring that right leg up as high as you can. Straight in line with that body, then slowly back down. Draw that leg in front, keeping it hovering off the ground just a few inches. Then from in front of your body, trying to get as close to 90 degrees off of your torso as possible. Lift that leg straight up and out to the side. Slowly back down to a couple inches. Then back out to the straight in line with your body. Just keep that motion going back and forth, under control. Remember, no quick motions. Should be nice and controlled and slow the entire time. Now, as those outside thigh muscles get stronger and stronger, and you want to make this more difficult, you can move on to using something like an ankle weight to make this a lot more difficult. You only need like 1 or 2 pounds, and this exercise gets exponentially harder. So if you need a little bit more effort, then add some ankle weights. Almost done, just one more U. Last one, bring it up in front. Slowly bring it back in line with your body and let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one. These are slider squats. You're going to be standing up for this one. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Squat down really nice and low, and you're going to shift your body weight from one leg to the other, keeping those legs nice and wide. You want to slowly extend that opposite leg out as far as you can. Lock that knee out for a moment, then slowly slide back. The key with this one is keeping those hips nice and low. You want to just move them side to side, not up and down. So pick a nice low squat and move back and forth from there. Now, because you're not holding any weight with this one, you don't have to really worry about keeping your back really flat, but it's a good idea to always practice good form, so make sure that back stays as flat as you can control. Almost done, just one more shift to each side. And back over the opposite side, and let it relax. All right, moving on to that next one. This is the single leg pendulum swing. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. So you're going to start standing on one leg. That opposite leg is going to come up and out to the side as high as you possibly can. Then nice and slow, bring it down in front of your body and actually kind of lift it up across to the outside of that opposite leg, that one that you're standing on. So as you lift that leg up and out to the side, you can go ahead and let that knee bend just a little bit and kind of rotate that thigh as much as possible, trying to get that heel up towards the sky. Then nice and slow, straighten that leg back out, lift it out to the side as high as possible, and then slowly back down. Now the goal with this is to keep that leg moving nice and smooth under control and never actually let it touch the ground. You don't want to actually use that to help you out with balance. You want to have all that balance coming from just that one leg that you're standing on. Almost done. One more. And let it relax. All right, switch sides. We're going to do the same exact thing on the opposite leg. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Remember again, nice slow controlled motion. Try to keep it at a nice even pace. That leg stays as straight as possible, lifting out to the side. Then nice and slow, bring that leg in front of your body, bending that knee just a little bit, trying to get that heel up and out to the side as high as you can. Then straighten that leg back out as you bring it up out to the side. Remember, try not to let that foot touch the ground at all. You want to be balancing 100% on that leg that you have straight underneath you. Now, if you're looking for a little bit more challenge out of this exercise, you can always use ankle weights for this one as well, although this exercise is usually plenty challenging just by itself. Just one more out to the side, then bring it up across in front of you, and let it relax. Now let's move to the next one. This is a sumo squat with a pickup. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Holding a dumbbell or some other kind of weighted object, You're gonna nice and slow squat down, a nice sumo squat, those feet kicked out really nice and wide. Then with that dumbbell in one hand, you're gonna squat down, dropping that dumbbell off in front of the opposite foot from the hand you're using. Then nice and slow come back up from that sumo squat. Then drop right back down again, pick that dumbbell up with that same hand. Then switch that dumbbell in your hands as you come back up. Then slowly back down again, switching sides, putting that opposite hand down in front of that other leg. Now just keep concentrating on that motion, keep it under control, nice deep squat every single time, slow controlled motion down, slow controlled motion back up. Now the amount of that weight that you're using, the heavier that dumbbell is, the harder it's going to make this exercise. Also, you want to really be careful about making sure that back stays perfectly flat. You can rotate those shoulders a little bit as you reach to put that dumbbell down, but make sure that back stays perfectly flat the entire time. And here's your last one right here. Grab that dumbbell, bring it back up, and let it relax. All right, got one more exercise for this round. This is the seated leg sweepers. Go ahead and sit down for this one. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. This looks nice and easy, but it's actually a pretty hard exercise. You want to keep that back perfectly straight up and down, leaning forward just a little bit if you can. Lift that left leg off the ground by a couple of inches. Bring it out to your side as wide as you can without letting those hips or torso twist. Then nice and slow, bring it straight back in front. And lift that right leg and do the same thing on that side. Just keep alternating back and forth, trying to get as much range of motion out of it as you possibly can. Focusing on keeping that foot just a couple of inches off the ground and leaning that chest forward as much as you can. Use those arms to kind of push against the ground to help you keep that chest forward. You got one more on each side. One left on that right leg. And let it relax. All right, that was the end of round number 1. Go ahead and pause it here if you want a little bit of extra rest. Let's go ahead and get started with round number 2. We're going to be starting back over with the frog leg lifts. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Laying face down, kick those knees out to the side, bring those heels in really nice and close to that butt, then lift those thighs up off the ground as high as you can, really squeezing those glute muscles, those butt muscles, getting those thighs up off the ground as high as possible. Drop them back down, don't let them completely touch, keep a little bit of a hover on it, make sure those butt muscles are always contracted, then lift those knees right back up again. Just 2 more. Last one, tight squeeze, and let it relax. All right, moving on to the squats with a side leg raise. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Nice deep squat in the middle, then slowly lift one leg up and out to the side as high as you possibly can, squatting right back down again, and then coming up, lifting that opposite leg. Just keep alternating back and forth, trying to keep that torso as straight up and down as you can, and lifting that leg up and out to the side as high as possible. Got one more on each side. Last one on that left leg. Tight squeeze. And let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one, the butterfly bridges. Go ahead and lay down on your back for this one. Feet together. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Bring those feet in, kick those knees out to the side. Raise those hips as high as you possibly can. Tight squeeze the top every single time. Remember engaging those inner thighs, those outer thighs, and those glutes all at the same time, also working those hamstrings. If you want to make it harder, bring those hands up off the ground, straight up above those shoulders. Just makes those core muscles have to work a lot harder for balance. Just 2 more repetitions. Tight squeeze every single time. And there's your last one right there. Go ahead and let it relax. All right, moving to the next one. This is the U leg lifts. Go ahead and lay out on your right side, propped out on that right elbow. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Lift that leg straight up out to the side. Hovering off the ground, bring it straight in front of that hip, 90 degrees off that torso. Lift that leg straight up as high as you can. Slowly back down. Then bring it back in line with your body and lift again. Just keep alternating back and forth. Nice, slow, controlled motion. Make sure you don't kick that leg. This is your last one right here. Bring it back in front, straight up out to the side, and back in line with your body. Then let it relax. We're going to go ahead and switch sides, do the same thing on the opposite side. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Laying out on that left side, propping your body up with that left elbow. Bring that leg directly out in line with that body, raising it up as high as you can, lowering it back down, hovering just a couple of inches off the ground. Bring it in front, so it's 90 degrees off that torso. Raise it straight up, then slowly back down again. Bring it right back out in line with that body. Just keep alternating back and forth. Nice, slow, controlled motions. Never letting that leg actually completely relax. This is your last one right here. Slowly bring it in front. Raise that leg. Then back out in line with that body. And let it relax. All right, go ahead and stand up for this one. We've got the slider squats next. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Squat down nice and low. Then shift that weight from foot to foot, moving those hips back and forth, left to right, but not letting those hips move up and down. You want to keep those completely stationary, the same height off the ground the entire time, just shifting that weight back and forth. Just 2 more. And back over to the left side. and let it relax. All right, go ahead and stand up completely for this next one, the single leg pendulum. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Standing on that right leg, bring that left leg out to the side as high as you can, then slowly swinging it back in front of that right leg, bending that knee slightly, kicking that heel up and out to the side, trying to rotate that thigh just a little bit. Just keep that motion going back and forth, working that inner thigh and outer thigh, trying to get as much range of motion out of that leg as you possibly can, and trying to make sure you're keeping your balance the entire time, never letting that left leg actually touch the ground. One more. Inside. And let it relax. All right, go ahead and switch those legs. We're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Standing on that left leg this time, rocking that right leg back and forth, trying to get as much range of motion out of it as you can, keeping that torso as straight up and down as possible, and trying to balance on only that left leg, trying not to let that right leg touch the ground. Last one. Tight squeeze on the inside, and let it relax. All right, go ahead and grab a dumbbell or some other weighted object. We're doing the sumo squat with a pickup next. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Using one arm at a time, squatting down, drop that dumbbell down to that foot, come back up, then squat back down using that same hand to pick that dumbbell up, switch that dumbbell into the opposite hand, then squat down, dropping that dumbbell in front of the opposite foot. Just keep alternating back and forth, getting as deep of a squat as you can each time, and making sure you're keeping that back nice and flat. And here's your last one right here. Drop that dumbbell off, then go back and pick it up, and let it relax. All right, go ahead and sit down for this next one, the seated leg sweeps. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Leaning that chest forward, keeping that back nice and flat. Lift that left leg just a couple of inches off the ground. Bring it out to your side as wide as you possibly can, keeping it nice and straight. Then slowly bring it back in front. Switch over to the opposite leg. Bring that leg up and out, and then slowly back. Just keep that motion going, nice and slow under control. Never kick that leg. Keeping it just a few inches off the ground and keeping that upper body, that chest tilted forward as much as you possibly can. The further you tilt forward, the harder it's going to be. Just one more on each leg. And last one on that right leg. Out as wide as you can. And let it relax. All right, that was the last one of round number 2. Go ahead and pause it here. Then we're going to start round number 3. All right, let's go ahead and start round number 3, starting back over with those frog leg lifts. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Facing flat down on the ground, kick those knees out to the side, the inside of those feet pressing in towards each other, then slowly lift those thighs up off the ground, squeezing those butt muscles as tight as you possibly can, getting those thighs up off the ground as high as possible. Slowly let those legs back down, but don't let them completely touch. You always want to have those hamstring and glute muscles contracted the entire time. Almost done. 2 left. 1 more. Tight squeeze. And let it relax. All right, go ahead and stand up for this next one, the squats with a side leg raise. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Drop down to that nice deep squat in the middle, then slowly come up, raising one leg up out to the side as high as you possibly can. Slowly back down into that squat again, lifting that opposite leg. Just keep alternating back and forth, getting as much range of motion out of that leg lift and that squat every single time. Almost done, just 1 more on each side. And the last one over on that left leg. And let it relax. All right, go ahead and lay down for this next one, the butterfly bridges. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Place those feet together, kick those knees off to the side, then slowly lift those hips as high as you can, squeezing through those butt muscles, those hamstrings, those inside and outside thighs. Just keep that motion going under control. Nice tight squeeze at the top, never letting those hips actually completely touch the ground at the bottom. Always keeping those muscles tensed. Just 2 more repetitions. Last one, tight squeeze, and let it relax. All right, go ahead and roll over onto your right side. We're doing the U leg lifts next. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Laying out on that right side, propped up on that right elbow. You're going to lift that left leg up and out to the side, straight in line with your body as high as you can. Slowly back down, a couple of inches off the ground, then bring that leg in front, 90 degrees off that body, lifting that leg again, then slowly back down, keeping that hover, and straightening that leg out back with your body. Just keep that motion going back and forth, alternating that leg position, but never letting that leg relax. This is your last motion. Slowly bring it down and hover, bring it in front of that body, lift that leg, back out in a straight line, and let it relax. We're going to switch sides and do the same exact thing. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Laying on that left side this time, propped up on that left elbow. You extend that right leg out in a straight line with your body, lifting it straight up, back down, hovering a couple of inches off the ground. Swing that leg in front, trying to get as close to a 90-degree angle off of that torso as possible. Lift it straight from there, back down, hovering it, then bring that leg back in a straight line with your body. Just keep that motion going, nice and slow under control. Never swing or kick that leg, always keeping that leg tensed. This is your last motion right here. Swing that leg back in front, raise that leg, back in a straight line, and let it relax. All right, go ahead and stand back up for this next one. We're doing the slider squats next. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Nice low squat, shifting that weight back and forth from leg to leg, making sure that those hips move side to side, but not up and down. You want to constantly keep a height on those hips. Make sure they're nice and low. Those knees are always staying bent until you shift all your weight to one side. Almost done. Just one more on each side. Shift back to the left one more time. And let it relax. All right, go ahead and stand up again. This is the single leg pendulum. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Standing on that right leg, swinging that left leg back and forth in a controlled motion, getting as high to the side as you can. Then slowly bringing that leg back up in front of that right leg, kicking that heel up and out to the side as high as you can, rotating that thigh just a little bit, bending that knee, then straighten that leg back out as you bring that leg back up to the side. Just keep that motion going nice and slow, nice fluid controlled motion, keeping that upper body nice and straight up and down. Just one more. Bring that leg up in front again one more time. And let it relax. All right, we're going to go ahead and switch sides. Do the same thing on that other leg. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Standing on that left leg, nice and slow, swinging that right leg back and forth, getting as much range of motion out of as you can. Remember, nice, slow, controlled motion, trying to balance on that left leg as best as you can without letting that right leg actually touch the ground. Almost done. Is your last one, up and out to the side, then back across in front, and let it relax. All right, moving on to the next one, the sumo squat with a pickup. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Dropping down to that sumo squat nice and low, dropping that dumbbell off, that opposite hand out to that opposite foot. Then you come back up, with that same hand, grab that dumbbell again, come back up, switch that dumbbell into that opposite hand, and repeat the motion on that opposite arm. Just keep that motion going nice and slow under control. Getting a deep squat every single time, trying to keep that back nice and flat. Still a little bit of rotation in that shoulder as you drop that dumbbell to the ground. Just keep it going under control. Just one more to the other side. And drop back down, pick that dumbbell up, and let it relax. All right, moving on to the last exercise, the seated leg sweeps. Go ahead and get ready. And begin. Sitting nice and straight and tall, chest tilted forward just a little bit, lifting that left leg up, just a couple of inches off the ground, out to the side as wide as you can go. Then nice and slow, bring it back, drop it back down, and switch that opposite leg. Do the same motion on that side, then bring that one back. Just keep that motion going under control, tilting that chest as far forward as you can. The further forward you go, the harder it's going to be to do this motion. Just one more on each side. That left leg comes up and out to the side. Slowly back. And then same thing in that right leg. This is your last one. And let it relax. Good job. You just finished Fitness Blender's glute, inner thigh, and outer thigh workout.